I've been a victim of being used spiritually. I wish I should have stayed home. I didn't know that Joburg has vultures out there. And today I'm a crying soul. I need the inner peace. She told me that she used to collect money in his father's wallet, in his father's wardrobe, whereby there's a magic wallet. Every day, every month, she'll collect 10 million. She also won that.
Magic wallet. Collect how much?
10,000 every morning. Now, when they open the case, the very 20 million that I requested, it is there.
20 million from 10,000 rand.
Yes, from 10,000 that we put inside. The money was wet. I asked them, why is the money wet? They said it's coming from the rivers, from the oceans. It's the spiritual money.
It was an exchange, basically.
Exactly.
So you sold yourself, basically.
They wanted to strip us naked. They wanted to, let me say, eat my brains and my sons.
Yay!
Yeah, they wanted to officially strip the power off.
Hola, Sen fam. Sanibonani dumelang absheni. Dimasiare dimategwani.
Dimasheroni.
I'm checking. And welcome to yet another installment of I've Been Through the Most podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, welcome. We are so excited, honored to have you today.
This episode would definitely not be the same if you were not interacting in the comment section below. Please make use of the comment section and let us know what you think of the episode today. And of course, if you're sitting at home, Millicent, and you say, listen, Centtwinz, I have an HOT story, then you better send us an email in the email address down below.
Yeah, and we're also on social media.
Yes, we are.
Please interact with us on social media.
TikTok.
Our videos used to do so well. Our views are going down. Please just go and like it, comment, throw a comment there. Say, I did watch the episode or I did listen to the episode. Show us some love. Follow the guests, because most of the guests that do come onto the show, have like a journey. They have like books, they're motivational speakers, they're authors. Like it goes
journey
on and
doesn't
on.
end here.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's the point, right? The journey doesn't end here. So let's show them some love even outside the show. And we look forward to hearing what you have to say, because this podcast would not be possible without the amazing viewers that we have. And today we have another incredible guest joining us today. And you know what I love? When I watch the episode, I'm like, the awards are behind the guest. Ne?
Yeah.
It's because it's the guest stories that are
not our
so
story.
amazing.
Okay, we're once guests as well, so I guess our story also contributes to that. But without wasting any more time, let us get to know our guest better. Today we've got Alimition, who is here to tell us an exclusive story. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for welcoming me.
It's good to have you.
And thank you for your quick response.
Yes.
Listen, your story was a quick response itself. There's some things they must be told, and the courage. I know it takes a lot to even send an email to say, I want to share my story, to talk about your story. It's you have to go through everything again when you tell your story. So we are grateful that you're here today.
Yeah, I should thank you for this opportunity you gave me to come on board and speak up. Because trust me, I'm brewing inside. Yeah, I'm a crying soul. I don't have inner peace, but hoping to bottle up. Hopefully, I'm gonna find the inner peace. I'm very crying soul, and I'm still in need of help. As I came here to share my story, I believe it's also gonna be an eye-opening to other individuals who are out there. I have been a victim of, I don't know how should I put it. I've been a victim of being used spiritually, my destiny being hijacked, and that has brought trauma in my life. It has also affected my child. I have a son who's doing 8 years today, that I live with him right because of the situation that I've been through. Yeah, it is a long story which I'll just try and be quick, and I'll summarize everything together.
Okay, so before that, let's get to know Alimition. Before all of that, growing up, being a young boy, where were you born and bred? How were you like as a child? Who raised you? Can you give us a little bit of a background of who you are?
I was born here in Gauteng, Springs, under a marriage. My parents were married, which I have only one sister. She's 2 years older than me. I'm 33 now. She's 30. She's 35. So my parents, both of them, they coming from the same village, which is Limpopo, in Pegasford. Some they know the area. They can understand when I say River Cross. I was born and raised by my mother without a father because they separated at my early age when I was 3 years probably. Yes, which I was raised by my mom. Sad enough, I lost my mom when I was 7 years. I was never raised by my mother.
So sorry about that.
Yeah, but it's strange because I didn't understand. When they say she passed on, I never cried. I didn't understand. Yeah, but I started to cry later.
I guess maybe when you start realizing that she's not there, maybe just her absence, because I can get as a child, you don't get the concept of
Yes.
death when you haven't experienced it,
Yes.
right? Because
Yeah.
how do you try and explain that, you know, to a child, to say somebody has now passed, you're never going to see them ever again? You know, it's just like it's a difficult and sensitive concept to sort of grasp. I know this from
Yes.
experience because our mom passed away when we were just 4, and
Yeah.
it's only later that you understand. I think
It
you-
registered that they're not coming back.
You
Yeah.
actually register much later.
Yes,
Much later.
exactly. So it has never, my childhood has never been easy. I have to first appreciate my grandparents who raised me. But on a serious note, I cannot be ungrateful, but it was never an easy task. Interesting enough, I had to drop out from school where I was staying with my mom in Witbank. I stayed in Limpopo, and I was a smart kid. Among the children that my grandfather had, we were about 7 of us. I was the smart one. At school, I was the smart one. Imagine at the age of 7, I could cover my books on myself. I could do homeworks without anyone's help. And interesting enough, like, November before the reports, I'll receive mark trophies, you understand? And they'll be like, okay, it's an obvious
Top
pass with these
achiever.
ones, exactly. And in some grades, I didn't do them.
You
Grade
skipped.
2, yes, grade 2, I didn't do it.
You're
Grade
that
4,
smart.
Grade 3.
exactly. And grade 4, I didn't do it. Like, okay, what's going on with
No
this guy?
way.
I'm telling you. But then when I go to my secondary, then my intelligence, my wisdom started to drastically drop. What is going on? Is it because of the treatment that I was getting at home? No, it's not. Because even my childhood, I was still performing without any parents' help. Us. Let me give example of my child today. I'm assisting him with homeworks, but I never got assisted with something like that.
You're
But I
on
was
your
so genius, yeah. So that was something behind me. The intelligence, the wisdom, there was something behind me which it now makes sense why I was like this genius. And then as I was growing up, a lot of things happened. I left my home when I was 19 years. From the age of 19 years, I started to live on my own, renting until today. I left Limpopo, that was 2011. And what the painful part is that I did my matric staying in a friend's home because my home was never a peaceful home anymore. We were no longer welcomed, we were no longer accepted.
Why?
It's just the Lord. It's just the Lord, which they
Complicated.
might just take you another podcast, trust me.
Sure.
Yeah, so, but then I had to move out. I had to stay on my own. But staying on my own, it has taught me a lot. And it has also caused me a lot of consequences. If I should have grown under the supervision of a parent, I'll be a great kid today. I'll be somewhere today. So I had to accept the nature. It is what it is. What can I say?
So did you pass your matric well?
Yes, I did pass my matric well. By then, I needed to do a pharmacist.
Okay.
I couldn't qualify because of my physics results. They needed 75. I was around 55. That's the only thing that affected me. But lucky enough, I had to do IT. I had to do facilitation. Yeah, but nevertheless, that is not even working for me for some reasons. me having to stay on my own, having to go out and seek life, I landed to Joburg. I was looking for my father, so maybe he can help me to go to school. My father, he never supported me. He just never promised. Then I had to come to Tembisa and stay with my uncle. Then I started looking for a job. I got a job. That's how my life went.
Where was your father? Do you know?
I know him, but he never filled that gap that I wanted him to fill.
So you never had a relationship at all?
It never worked out. I don't want to lie to you. I don't know the father's love.
And what about his family?
His family, it's just something else. If the father doesn't welcome you or give you enough love, who are they to give you enough? Me moving to Tembisa, I stayed with my uncle. I started to work hard, and I started to accommodate myself. I got a room. I started to get engaged in relationships, and I started dating late. You know that I was that smart kid who only dates with books.
Okay.
Yeah, so me coming to Joburg, I wish I never came to Joburg. I'm somebody who will say, I'm going to use Zulu with this one, Ikoliklile. I'm somebody like that. Joburg has destroyed me. I wish I should have stayed home. I didn't know that Joburg has vultures out there. And today I'm a crying soul. I need the inner peace. Part of me, I still even seek vengeance from what I faced. Because there are people who came to my life, they took advantage of me, of my spirituality, which they crippled my destiny. Some of the things, they got hijacked. I would have been far, I would have found myself, but something was taken away from me. And which is why I came here to share the story. That's now I'm going to begin sharing my story as I've written to your email.
Yeah.
It started like when I was starting to rent, I was staying alone. I found a nice girlfriend. I was committed with her. I always believed in having a family because I knew that I didn't have a family. I was building with that young girl. We only lasted a year and 4 months. Our relationship, 2014, got disturbed because I was once at work. There came another lady acting to be a client because I was working in a finisher store where we do sales.
Okay.
I started to know this girl. From the moment of knowing this girl, it was the beginning of me losing my current relationship. I was not cheating. I was like knowing her as a friend.
Okay.
Then I started to lose my relationship and I broke up with my girlfriend. Then the problem started. So what really happened to me, this lady, she was sent in my life. She's the reason of all things that have happened to my life.
The client.
Yes.
The lady that came as a client to the furniture shop. Okay.
Yes. Then she's the one who started to come to my life, which she was sent. And interesting enough, she was sent by people that are even our public figures, who are in our ministerial positions, who are our leaders actually, which if I were to name them, you will be shocked. So they had to send a woman. I believe the weakness of a man is a woman.
So how do, I mean, maybe you'll get to it later in your story. How do you know that she was sent?
Later in the confession when we fought,
Okay.
everything came out.
Okay.
And even during the relationship, there's so many red flags, which I had to brush them off. And I should have been smart and walked away as early as possible. But I couldn't. There were so many things that they were weakening me to stay in a relationship and hold on into a relationship. So it's just a group of men who are working for a, what do you call, underworld society, Illuminati. What really brought them to my life? They were seeking spiritual powers, wealth, authority, and ruling. Something drew their attention to me. What they saw, it is what they needed to get where they are today. Apparently, speaking of the people who are in Illuminati, they always seek power, wealth, you know it, right? Yes, and spiritually, they use people's spiritual gift. They hijack other people's destiny to get wealth, to get power, to get where they are today. Yes. I suffered this a very long time, a very, very long time.
I think let's start from the relationship now, right?
Yes.
Let's go back a bit so that we don't get lost. So you meet this lady, right? You now break up with your girlfriend at the
Yes.
time because of whatever happened. So then you get into a relationship now with this client
With this
lady.
client lady.
Take us through the relationship in the beginning. What kind of relationship was it? And then take us from there.
It started 2015. I broke up with my girlfriend 2014. Later, 3 months, it was 2015 January. She called me. She told me that she's looking for an apartment. She wanna go to school, so I must help her to find a place. I said, sure thing, let me help you. We looked around for a room. We couldn't find it. I had to accommodate her in my house. Trust me, she looked very beautiful, and obviously she knew that they did what they did. You know, marine spirits, they have a power of attraction. And she came to my life. I said, okay, let me accommodate you. When I accommodated her, the very first day, things fell in place. We started dating. We were in bed already in the very first day. Then that's how our relationship started. Then I started saying, now we can move in together. Don't have to stress. Because the very day she was stressed that the father is neglecting her, the father is having problems, she really needs to get accommodation until she's back on her feet.
Okay. Sure.
From the very moment the relationship started, this is what really happened. We moved in together. I was working. In the very finisher that she met me. And I started sleeping with her. It was now an official relationship. There was this guy who was calling him every day on our first week, which I was already aware. He said it's his father. This guy will call him, they will communicate, and I will ask, is your father aware that you're with me? He will say yes. And then the father will send the regards. I'll ask myself, oh, okay, this father sounds like a friendly father who's aware that I'm with the daughter, but he's okay with that. And he started to say, can I speak? Can she speak to me? And then he will say, thank you for looking after my daughter. I'm not okay, but I will appreciate you. Please just make sure you take care of my daughter. That was an approval to me. I felt lucky because he was a rich father. He was a rich father who has political friends, and all those political friends, they will call me. Yes, our ministers by then in 2015, they will call me and say, when are you getting married, Umelusha? You need to get married so that you can be part of our family. Yeah, so I said, I felt lucky.
She was homeless, looking for a place. All of a
Didn't
sudden
make
now
sense.
she's got a rich father with
And an African
affiliation.
father with fat and set, giving you blessings without having to meet you.
Exactly. So,
But I guess when you're in that situation, you are in love. It's it's like it's a fresh relationship. You overlook a lot of things.
yes. So me, I felt like she was beautiful. She's having a rich family, which she's even connected with our very own political leaders, which I started to say, tell them to get me a job in the government. This is actually the catch. And I would say, oh, wow, I felt lucky. We stayed in a relationship. Then the girl, she started to tell me that she wants to go to school, but unfortunately the father, he said he cannot help him. His money was used for other things. I must help the girl. The girl said I must help her. And then the father said, yeah, you can help her. I will pay you when I'm okay, back on my feet. I said, I don't have enough money. Let me try and give what I have. I had credit cards because I was working. I had to give her my credit card. She took all the money. Yes, she took all the money. She used that. And then the money, she claimed that the money was never enough. Then I went to do loan. I have to give her the money. Then she started saying, no, the money that they gave me for loan is not enough. You know what? My father used to have a traditional healer who can help me, but he will need a lot of money. I'm going to take the 10,000 he gave me, accompany me to Joburg where I'm going to meet my father's traditional healer. He's going to help me do the money. I said, is that not doing like some ritual things? Witchcraft. She said, no, it's just a magic wallet. You don't do anything dirty. It's just some traditional healers who have spiritual powers to get money. They use their spirits to steal money.
So this is to multiply this 10K at this point. Like,
yes,
if we take it there, the money will be more.
That's exactly what she said.
And then at this point, I'm like, is this person that's been calling you even the father? Because, okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so, and then do you agree to this? Because the funds are running out.
I gave her the money. I accompanied her and I said, I want to see. Maybe, whatever. Let's see. I accompanied her to those traditional healers. We got there. Then I was accompanying. It was a dark room whereby she got inside. She spoke with the traditional healer. They knew each other.
So she's definitely
Been there before.
Yes, and then they knew each other because she told me that she used to collect money in his father's wallet, in his father's wardrobe, whereby there's a magic wallet. She every day, every month, she'll collect 10 million. She also won that.
She
Magic wallet. Collect how much?
10,000 every morning.
From the magic wallet.
Yes. When we got there,
Oh my goodness.
this,
At this point, wait, you and you believe all this, and you still go and
I accompanied her as a boyfriend,
wow, yeah,
It's supportive.
but financially I supported her as a man. And I didn't even ask myself, the rich father now, why the girl is asking money. I also needed to be a hero, being a man.
Again,
over
you
your
wanted to prove
girlfriend.
yourself that I fit in this rich
Exactly.
family.
Thank
I
you.
can
You
also
understand?
provide.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when we got there, what really happened, they went there, they spoke, then they did rituals. They were calling it money rituals, which there was a big case. It was covered with some things. They had to put a calabash inside the big case. Then they performed some rituals. She was given other things to wear on her body, which obviously they have to do with the traditional healer attires. So when they did ritual, the guy started to ask me a question. Do you love this woman? I said yes. It was them doing the ritual.
Okay.
Said no, her luck is not really enough for the money that she's requesting. How about you assist her and boost her with your luck? Since she's your girlfriend, you're gonna share the money. Now look at this. I've been lured to that office in a way of I'm accompanying her.
Right.
Exactly. Now they're getting me to do the rituals.
Yes.
Now I have to put my hands in their things. I was given those things to her as well. So I had to hold the calabash and make the money request. It was me now also.
Now you are participating.
Exactly. Now I'm participating. They did the ritual. Then we said, go outside. 5 minutes later, come back. Now when they opened the case, the very 20 million that I requested, it is there.
20
I am
million.
telling you,
from
and,
10,000 rand.
yes, from 10,000 that we put inside. The very case, they didn't have money. There was no one who sneaked to put the money. I was sitting here, it was covered. And then when they opened it, after 5 minutes, there was a lot of money.
But you left the room.
I didn't leave the room. I was there, sitting
Okay.
there. It was closed.
Oh, okay. So this didn't happen during the 5 minutes where they said, please leave and come back.
The time
While
I said
you were
leave, I
there,
was
in your
there. It's just like
presence.
meaning leaving from that seat to come
yeah.
to sit here like a
Okay.
sidelined. So the money was wet. I asked them, why is the money wet? They said it's coming from the rivers, from the oceans. It's the spiritual money. I said, okay. They said, look, it's the same. Look at yours. Look, it's the same money. It's original. It works. I said, okay. I was like now waiting and started to smile. It's unbelievable, but I can see the money. They said, now, you can't take the money. It's a spiritual money. It's going to kill you. We need to cleanse you. We need to purify you. We also need to purify the money. We're going to give you muti, go home. I'll give you instruction. You're going to take 3 days bathing with the muti. We are preparing you spiritually. What's the use of taking the money while it's going to kill you? Take the money now. In a week, you die. Many people, you need protection. It was a plan.
Yo.
It was a plan. I took the muti.
So this girl knew all this.
Knew all this. It was a
she's been
setup.
there before.
Exactly. It was a setup. They were luring me into something. I went home, started
So you actually the victim here.
I'm the
It's
victim
just
here.
that they need maybe like an
Strategic.
innocent soul for, I guess, the whole transaction to
happen.
Like what they
happen.
said, they need his luck because they said she doesn't have enough luck. So they wanted your gift or whatever. It was an exchange basically. So you
Exactly.
sold
yourself, basically.
Okay, let me continue. I
Yes.
will explain that. So when I go home, the muti that I got, it was covered with the red cloth. It's a muti. Every time I bath, I put it in a water.
Okay.
I bath. But the muti was covered in a red cloth
Oh, so you can't see them. You can't see what's
inside,
inside.
but it's a
Okay.
muti. When you put it, obviously they absorb and it
Okay.
absorb your dirt. You understand? It's a muti in a cloth. Every time, the purpose of getting the muti, when I found out later, when I bathed with the muti, they were literally capturing my spirit. They were capturing my soul chakra. You understand? They were now taking my spirit. They were taking my soul. I continued bathing with the muti. After 3 days, I said, okay, we are done. They said, okay, come with the chicken when you come there. I was like, for what? They said, we need to make a sacrifice. I said, isn't it this sacrificing someone in the family? I said, no, it's a chicken. I said, no, I've seen this in Nigerian movies where you kill a chicken, somebody dies in your family. I don't think I'm comfortable.
So
you,
this
girlfriend, you do it.
Oh, so you've seen a ritual like this before. So like whenever there's an animal sacrifice, you're like, no, it's representing someone's soul.
Exactly. I was lucky to deny that. And I said, no, you, girlfriend, you do it.
So did she do it?
I didn't do it. I refused.
No, did she do it?
She
When you
didn't
said
do it. Then we gave up
Because
to
she
the
knew
money.
what it meant.
Yes. Then she gave up for the money. Said, no, if you guys, you can't sacrifice the chicken, we can't purify the money, you can't get the money. I bathe with the muti now. Let me clarify something. That girl, she was not a human in the big to begin with. She was a marine spirit.
Oh.
I was dating a marine spirit, sleeping with a marine spirit. I was not sleeping with a human. For sleeping with her, automatically, the job has started. For sleeping with her, they were busy dealing with me. For bathing with Muti, they were already strengthening their rituals to take my spiritual journey, to hijack my destiny. I bathed with the Muti, then the plan failed. We didn't get the money. Remember, I told you that there were 6 guys in this whole thing, which they are politicals, and one of them is the spiritual leader, which is a man who's having a big church in Limpopo. That's that guy is their Lord spiritual. He's the person who understands a lot about the spirit gift that I carry. He's the person who has the power, but he sent all these 6 men to do all the work. So these guys now they have to call me. I wish I was able to mention names if I were to. I can mention name, not the same name if you don't mind.
No.
Okay, it's fine. But it won't hurt if I mention the name than the same name.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say Mwako calls me and say, you're a coward. You can't even sacrifice a chicken. How are you going to be a man if you can sacrifice for your family? If you want
So now
to
they're
be...
trying to persuade you.
Exactly.
So you actually the plan is now it's stuck. The plan is not working because you're missing a step.
Exactly.
So everybody's waiting on you to take the chicken there.
Exactly. Now, when this guy calls me and say, I'm disappointed of you, I said, no, me, I can't do that. And then they said, no, okay, there's another lady that we can send him to. He's not going to need any sacrificial chicken. Go and try him. He's going to give you a magic stick. Now it's me now being sent all these places for my family
Like from a
now.
normal guy
Yeah.
who was living an ordinary life,
Yeah.
being a salesperson.
In an acceptable way.
Now you are in and out of consultations.
Yes,
like
inside
your
the circle.
life took a 360 turn.
Yes, so when we go to another lady, all these people that they're taking me, remember I'm taking my money. I'm taking my money. I'm starting to have financial problems. Whereby when I get my salary, after deductions, I'm left with 400. My rent is 1.5. What about food? What about everything? When I go to the second lady, they do some rituals on me. They say, Iala lento.
Like it's
They
refusing.
give me muchi, then I bath with it. Sometimes in the office, then they say Iala land. Do you know what they meant when they meant when they say Iala land? Literally, the time I broke up with the girlfriend, when I was sitting down with her, why were you taking me all over these tangomas? She said we were trying to lure you to be part of our Illuminati. So the time we were saying Iala land, there are spirits that we wanted you to carry. Some spirits, but more your Twala. When you go to Twala, they give you a spirit, and the spirit gives you money. She was literally going to take the money and run away with it. I was going to suffer with the spirit, but the money, I was not going to enjoy it. Iala lento, the spirit couldn't share the body. They couldn't stay in my body. They couldn't handle the heat that was inside me. I will tell you what's the heat that was inside me.
Okay.
Iala lento. I survived becoming a member of the Illuminati, which they were luring me indirect. They were not telling me it's direct, come and join us. And they wanted to use me. But she never stopped with the plan. I continued bathing with all these sangoma. All these 6 guys, they all took me to the traditional healers. I'll go to traditional healer. He will make me bath with the muti. For going to his traditional healer, because of the spiritual powers that are in me, they will like ordain him for something. Maybe he wants to be a certain minister. They will draw power from me, then he will become what he wants to become. maybe also wants a promotion. They will bath with something and they will cast out some spells. He will become whatever he has to become. Literally, what I can say with these powers that they were after, it's like I'm a president maker, the kind of power that I carry. You know Samuel in the Bible, who ordained, who anointed Saul and David to become whatever they had to become, kings and all that.
Yeah.
Yes, they were coming to draw that power.
So you have a gift, basically.
I have the
And
Hosanna
in the
spirit.
That you probably were not even aware of.
Yes.
Exactly.
But when in the spirit,
They
they
can
could see it.
Exactly.
So they literally come after you. They send someone like they did with the lady to come and get that from you so that they can get whatever
Higher
promotion
position,
they need.
higher powers.
Then when you left just
An
walking
empty
around
tin.
empty,
Thank you.
non-existent.
You understand? So literally what attracted them to me, I didn't know that I had a Hosanna spirit. Somebody who has a Hosanna spirit is somebody who's actually having a very powerful angel that has an access to the third heavens. Somebody who's a very prophetic. Somebody who I can ordain you today and become a minister. I can anoint you to become whatever you want to become. So that's the power that they wanted to draw from me. And if you can check 2015, they were switching positions by then because of the powers that they were getting from me. So they took me around the traditional healers. It was a traumatic story.
So you met them in person, these ministers?
No, they were actually too busy to be coming to Tembisa. I was staying in Tembisa by then. But they would call us and I would talk to them. I know them, I know
So
their
they
voices.
would refer you to their traditional
They
healers.
are traditional healers,
yeah.
exactly.
But because you are in it, because I'm sure someone that's watching would be asking, okay, by the second one you see you're getting drained, it's not working. But I get that you're at such a point of desperation. You are in this, you just want this now to go away.
Exactly.
So you also just keep going and you're like, the sooner this is done and I get out
better.
of this, the better.
And now the desperation of me being broke because I took all my money.
The finances are gone.
The finances are
Credit
gone.
cards limit exceeded.
You're
Then-
actually exactly where they want you to be.
Exactly. Then now, remember, I'm under a spell now. She got me, she slept with me, she has done things. I'm now her remote control. Everything she wants, everything she says, I do it. I'm his zombie, obviously. Then, plan B. I'm financially crippled. I stopped going to the traditional Sangoma. I said, no, I'm a child of God. I'm not going to even have to go all this way. I was living very fine. Now, look, my problems are weighing even my...
So now you like, leave me alone. I'm a child of God. But this one has
Exactly.
it's like you're saying a remote control. She's like, okay, no, we'll see about that because already, like you said, by virtue of sleeping with her, you
It's a
have already
covenant.
gotten into a covenant.
Thank you.
So it's like you need to come out before
need
you
to
can
come
be
out before I
delivered.
can even-
Actually, you need
exactly.
deliverance now.
Yeah.
Trust me, I need more than a deliverance. I need mercy. So, plan B, they said, give this guy a child. She had to go to the doctors without paying so that they can help her to
Help her
be
conceive quick,
Yes. She conceived the child while my finances are dropping. Once she was pregnant, she started to get me to sell my things, my property. I started selling my property just to survive. When I was selling the property, she would take the money and say, I'm going to continue hustling the money. I'm going to work on getting my life better. I sold my fridge, my TV, my phone, my everything. I only left with the bed. I moved out to a shack. I sold my bed. I was sleeping down.
Yeah?
From expensive finisher, yes. I was sleeping down in a shack. She didn't go. She was with me while pregnant. We suffered so badly. I had to resign because the work was like I was getting 400. Now I waited for my provident fund. Guess what? All my provident fund, they took it. I only spent 800 for my provident fund. Provident fund is painful because you will have plans, but someone who takes care of the money that you work for 4 years, it is very painful.
So
She took it.
You lost everything.
I lost everything.
You ended up in a shack without a bed.
Exactly.
From having everything, credit cards, like you lost.
Exactly.
And you wonder, these people, I guess, in these powerful positions, they've got all the money. What are you doing with his money working in a furniture shop? But clearly your money has
Doing
something.
something.
Yeah,
And
again.
your possessions mean something.
Again, they were also crippling me financially. so that I can be oppressed.
So you can be
can live on the street.
desperate.
Exactly, desperate as well. Yes.
Yeah.
It was a nice apartment for the way I was, for working in a furniture store,
Yeah.
but having this at least better
A
nyana.
couch, a
I'm getting there.
fridge.
Exactly.
Yeah. So all this was
So
gone.
you had to
All this
sell
was gone.
everything, and you moved into a shack.
I moved into a
And
shack.
she's still here because it's not done.
It's not done.
It's
Yeah.
not done.
For she's suffering with me. Wow, Lona Umfaz, this one, she's the one. Because she's suffering with me. She's carrying my baby. She delivered the baby. Let me tell you a story of my baby. I cry for my son today. If I even stay with my son today because I can never allow her to stay with my son. It was an agenda to give to give me a child. It is said that a king bears a prince. Do you know that, right? If I'm David, my son will be a king automatically. My
Right.
spiritual gift will pass
Yes,
to my
bloodline.
kids. It's bloodline, you understand? They knew that, okay, this one is a king. If you give him a child, let's cross fingers that it becomes a boy, then, and whatever that I want, God actually answered. They said I must pray to God to give me a son.
And you prayed.
I fasted 3 days, then she got pregnant.
Hey.
I'm telling you, they said fast 3 days. I fasted 3 days and it happened. That's how I started to know the power of fasting. We got a child, which is a boy. Obviously, my spiritual powers are linked to him. So he carries my legacy.
Genes.
The reason why they say she must give me a child, they wanted to double power. To double the power. They took my powers. And if they take my sons as well, it's going to be even
Because
what...
your inheritance will carry your blessing.
Exactly.
So now it's not just from you, but it had to be a son so that it can be from him as well.
Exactly. But interesting enough, when she gives a birth to my child, 1 month after the birth of my son, they said, go do the passport. We must come to Nigeria and visit the father. We took the passport.
So she's from Nigeria.
No,
So which father are you going to visit?
the very father who's calling every day.
Oh, but okay, just resides
Yeah,
in Nigeria.
Yes, they said we must visit him.
But
Okay.
wasn't he working in politics in South Africa?
The guy, he was working with the politicians. He was a traditional healer for the politicians. He's the one who ordains them to become whatever they want to be. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's very complicated.
Yeah,
The plan for us to go to Nigeria, they wanted to strip us naked. They wanted to, let me say, eat my brains and my sons.
Yay!
Yeah, they wanted to officially strip the power off. They were using my spirit gift, but they wanted to officially strip the power off. The plan failed because when they do a thorough consultation,
Wait, so you went to Nigeria?
we didn't.
Okay.
The plan failed. When they do a thorough consultation, apparently if I die with my spiritual gift. I can give you an example of Moses. Moses, when he died, God has to send angels to come and take his body so the devil cannot use him. The other kids, when they die with their spiritual gift, like it or not. Their spirit is too heavy and very powerful to be controlled by somebody. They had to use me
Or
while I'm still
stolen.
alive.
They have to use while you're still alive.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because if I die, I'm somebody, when I die, there should be a star that will drop down and burst. I'm somebody like that. Have you seen, there's this story of concept of, say, some people when they die, you see a shooting star coming down. Exactly. So the plan had to fail. I stayed with the girl 2016, it was the birth of my son.
Same. Okay. Sorry, you can continue.
Same with...
No, we were saying we've never heard about that.
Okay, yeah, it's something else. So 2016, my son was given a birth. We raised my son. When my son was 8 months, before I reached out 8 months, I wanted to know who is this father, who is calling every day, who suddenly became a powerful prophet. He became a powerful prophet. The moment he became a powerful prophet, he became even a billionaire, let me say. You know how he became a billionaire? He's the one who, okay, people who are in the government, let me say ANC, for example, they have their traditional healers who are actually their spiritual guides, spiritual protectors. When they need to go to a conference, wherever they go, they consult with him first on a daily bread. So these guys, they have to pay that man. If there's anything that they want to do, maybe there's votes that have to happen.
Oh, like big positions, big announcements.
Elections.
Exactly.
all
These
those
guys
things
are
that
the
can-
ones who are actually, these Sangoma guys, they're undercover. You know, we see the public figures, but they're actual guys who are having the full control and the power. Let's
Like
say
spiritually.
let's say our president now is the president. He's not in power. There's actual person who's in power, which you won't see him in public.
They just physically take up the position.
Exactly.
It's an example.
It's an example. Yes, I like that. So these guys, I started to search who is this father who's calling. I want to meet your father. The father said, no, you can't meet me. You're not married. According to our culture, you can't know me. And then I know him as a traditional healer. I was having financial problems. And then he said, no, let me help you with some rituals so that you can look for a job and find.
But yet he's a billionaire.
Why can't he just send you the money?
He can't because of, they say he can't because of, I'm not married. How can he help him?
So he can't help you. Doesn't matter how rich he is.
Yes, but he
But
can
he can help his daughter.
Who's
But he
staying in a
couldn't.
shack with a baby?
He called
On
it
the
that
floor.
spoiling us. He called that spoiling us. It didn't make sense. But fine, let me get to the story. What really happened is that he would do some rituals and say, I'll do a ritual tomorrow for you. Just organize money, go buy this and that and that. He would do rituals for me. He will say, I'm helping you with the cleansing. I'm aligning your spirituality, your chakras, so that everything can happen. The poverty can go away. Interesting enough, when he was doing the rituals, he was using food.
Like regular
He will
food.
say, go buy pizza, buy olive oil, put together, eat. Tomorrow, go eat red meat, wors. Tomorrow, go buy a burger. Maybe, I wouldn't mention the restaurants, but most of the restaurants that are selling halal food, those are the food that he was using. There was a moment where I was questioning him. He started to say, no, I'm not like any other traditional healers. I'm actually a traditional healer for Illuminati Kingdom.
So you wouldn't put anything into the food?
I just eat the food, and he do the spells, and everything that he was doing was happening. And then I said, he confessed that he's a traditional healer for Illuminati. I couldn't take that easy. I was like, okay, now my father-in-law, he's Illuminati. How am I going to deal with this? He justifies it. No, it doesn't mean a harm. It's like, I'm a pastor, I have a family, I'm working for Illuminati. I don't mean a harm to my family. People, they always think we are killing people. I'm not different with you when you're worshiping Christ. While I'm worshiping, for example, Allah. It's my belief, don't judge me. I had to suffer the idea of he's from Illuminati, but what made me stay in a relationship was that my son was turning to make me a weakness, whereby I couldn't leave my son and walk away. He needed a father, he needed a mother. I stayed. I was not really comfortable until I adjust to the nature. Interesting enough, him being this Illuminati guy, part of his prophecy was very helpful, whereby when I have problems, he will know, he will tell me, and he will stop them. When I'm encounter challenges on the street, they will say, call me, hey, stop using this taxi. You're going to have an accident where you are going. He was a very powerful prophet, whereby in our conversation, when I'm having a conversation with the girlfriend, he will call us and correct us as if like he was sitting here listening.
He knows the conversation you just had.
Exactly. He knows everything that happens in the world, in the country. He will call us, hey guys, did you hear this? I said, no, something just happened now spiritually. And he will know everything. His prophecy made him win my trust. Whereby whatever he says, I will jump and do it. He will prophesy me things from before I met my baby mama. And I'll see this is true and accurate. And then there's this part where they tricked me. When I grew up, I was always getting this prophecy that my mother, he's not at rest. His soul is being used. His spirit is being used.
Okay.
Before I met my girlfriend, they had no hand in that. I always knew that. And they said, your mother is not at rest. I said, yeah, I always heard about it. They said, let us help you to put your mother at rest. To somebody who's listening today, if you meet a Sangoma, I'm just giving a hint to your viewers. If your mother is not at rest, you always heard that. It might be true, but here's the thing. If a Sangoma traditional comes to you and say, they want to help you, ask them this good question. I wish I should have asked. Ask them if, okay, are they going to send your mother in heaven? Just ask them that question. When they say they're helping you to put your mother at rest, ask them, are you taking him to heaven? Then let's see how are they going to answer you. I'm just helping those who might be the victims. Yes.
That.
How did I got victimized in my mother's story? My mother, yes, his soul was being used. I always knew about it. But then they took the advantage. My mother was also actually spiritual gifted as well. Interesting enough, we even sharing a birthday. Imagine. Something between me and my mom.
The connection.
Exactly. So they stole a stolen phone. My mother, his spirit was used, and they stole her spirit from people who were using him. They used me. They said I must go home. They were performing rituals. They had to use my body to take his spirit. Then they sent me to a restaurant that is in Sandton, which is their restaurant. They used their spirits to capture my mom's spirit. To find out that they stole my mom's spirit, claiming that they're putting her at rest. My girlfriend, she started to say, "Yo, your mother, he looks like your firstborn. I have a child." I said, "Wow, okay."
Like,
and
where
she's
did you
right.
see my mom?
Where did you see my mom? Indeed, she saw her in spirit. Okay, but the ancestors cannot accept her because she's dirty. They were using muti on her. I have to cleanse her. Every day she will go to Val River to do rituals and trying to cleanse her. And then the following day she said, "Your mom ran away." I said, "Run away from where? From heaven?" "No, in the spirit realm, in the world of his ancestors." How's this possible? I didn't understand. The following day, we found her. The next day, "Your mother stole a dress in your house." We searched for that dress. We couldn't find it. And indeed, my mom, I said, "Okay, how come my mom steal a dress?
Hey,
Is she a zombie?" This dress exactly. It's my
Okay.
baby mama's, you understand? They said she stole a dress. And I said, "No, guys, is my mom a zombie to steal a dress?" And I said, "No, she's an ancestor." I said, "This doesn't make sense." But you know what? I kept quiet because I didn't have an evidence.
so they're saying your mom's spirit is stolen. So they're trying to steal your mom's stolen spirit.
Yes.
Now your mom is stealing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is happening?
What is happening? Then I kept quiet. And then my son now was 8 months. The girlfriend started to say, "Ish, I'm leaving. I have to go home. I have to go and initiate Twasa." I said, "Okay." She left me. I was staying in the shack suffering.
To go and initiate someone.
No,
She's
to
going to
get
Twasa.
initiated.
Oh,
get
she's
initiated.
going to go. Yeah.
Okay.
She left me 2017 April. She's going to get initiated. One thing that I forgot to mention: when she came to my life, she gave me a false identity. All along, I was calling her with a false name, which I can easily mention. She was calling herself Megan.
Megan.
Yes, she was
Okay.
calling herself that. It was a
Okay.
fake name, and
So you didn't even know her true
I
identity.
didn't even know her true identity. I stayed with her, calling with a fake name. I didn't know where she stays. I only heard that she's staying in Vernachim, but she never introduced me to her family. We have a child now. I only have her cell phone number. She left to go initiated. I stayed 12 months hoping that my wife, my future wife, she's coming back. She went to initiation. Our life is going to be fine. Because I was suffering, man. Then I suffered. When I looked for a job, I couldn't find it. I was hopeless. Literally what they did, they crippled me financially. They destroyed me. I sold everything. I have nothing, actually. I tend to be more like a beggar. Before I go to sleep, I'll go beg 5 rand to buy bread. I was becoming a beggar. Literally, if I was smoking, it suits me to call me a hobo.
But if her identity was false or fake, that means her father's identity, who was calling,
fake.
was fake. That means maybe the politicians who were calling you or people
Are fake too.
are fake too.
No.
Wasn't this an act? Like,
No,
when they're
the-
not all acting to clean you out.
The politicians were real. Like indeed they were real.
How do you
But
know
you've never
that for
seen
sure?
I know their voices. I know them, these guys.
Someone can reenact a voice. You understand that?
I understand that, but it's them. I'm telling you. Because there are times whereby they will take him and live with him and do other things. And I will know everything that they do. It's them. I know them. Not even hiding, because these guys, they are his friends. Even today, later after I found out 2021, I will tell you everything that
Like
was
friends
happening.
with who? Your girlfriend?
Yes.
With her or the father? Who?
Okay, my girlfriend, the fake father, and his political friends.
They're friends.
Yes, they are friends. Let me continue. So
Yes.
she left me. I thought she's going to Twasa. Maybe she's coming
For
back.
12 months, yes.
Yes. Only to find out she disappeared. She's gone. She got what she wanted. She got the child. She got my spiritual gift. She's long gone.
But at least you're staying with your son.
She left with the son. Yeah. I'm suffering. I started fasting because of I was going through a lot, through the most. When I started fasting, praying, because I grew up in church where I was fasting every day. And what really happened is that something got broken. Whatever they did, it got broken. And then I started to recover financially. But how did I recover? I started betting. I started gambling. I became genius. I started to have money. I recovered from my financial loss. Kandi, there is something that is broken. They no longer have an access to my spirituality. She had to make a comeback. That was late after 12 months. When she came back, she started to...
So now when you stop suffering, and then your gift is sort of coming back, that
Yes.
genius side of you
He has to
is
come-
coming back. You're making money now.
Yes.
She comes back.
She
Because
comes
now
back.
they can't access that part of you that makes money because
Exactly.
you're gaining it back.
I
Because you're
gain it
starting
back.
to be spiritually fit again. You're fasting, you're praying, you are at
Exactly.
church.
Okay.
Then she came back to my life, and when she came back to my life, the very first month, I'm starting to drop.
Again, yes.
But then they are aware that, okay, when she leaves, I always recover. Now she has to stay with me full time and monitor me.
But you don't see that. You
I don't
just
see that.
you love this girl.
By the time I started to battle financially, the guy prophesied us. He said, you know what, every time when you come to this guy's life, there's something off. Actually, you are bringing poverty. They can see that I sense that. They said, no, in this case, you must start to eat ribs, pork ribs, and I must start to eat in restaurants. You know why? When she came back to my life, when I sleep her spirit got into me again, whereby it oppresses me. Man, now she has to stay with me, so that I should. So for me to maintain my life within my life, whatever spirit that they put in my body to work against me, when I feed with the halal food, it now works in my favor. It's more like if I curse you to suffer, you become a hobo. Let's say someone that you know is a hobo, ne? There's a spirit that is actually crippling their life. Take those kids and feed them with those food. The spirit will work in their favor now. It won't work against them. This is exactly what
Do you
they were
know
doing.
why halal food specifically? Why were you requested to eat that food?
It's their spiritual food, which the spirit, they feed that kind of a food to gain strength and powers. Yes.
Okay.
Then now I had to get use of eating my Fridays where we go there, we eat in those restaurants, burgers, the ribs and all that. And then financially, I'm starting to be stable. I'm starting to be okay. Now remember, something is broken. Plan B. She asked me for my blood.
Huh.
She said, you have a back pain, and this is caused by when your mother passed away in your home. They did some ritual, they bathed you with mutu, which is
She
true.
wasn't there. You were so young.
I was so young, but it's true. She said, Nate, give me your blood. I'm going to do a spiritual cleansing with you. For giving them my blood, I was giving my life again. I was giving them my life again.
So you did give them.
I gave them, and they were redoing the rituals. Interesting enough, they continue using my spiritual powers. I didn't know that. I didn't pay attention.
How did you give her your blood? How does that work?
She said I must buy a white cloth and then cut myself and put the blood. Then she's going to take the cloth to the river. Then they're going to spiritually cleanse me.
Guys.
That is me giving her my life again. I continued living. Then they said, let's move out.
She had her way with you, hey?
Exactly. Let's move out from Tembisa, go stay in Kempton Park in flats. And I was managing that because financially I'm fit, I'm okay, I'm doing pretty well. And then I was living pretty fine. Then she said, you have enemies. Can we help you? Get a ring. We're going to possess some powers. You'll be untouchable.
Like the levels keep now increasing.
Exactly. They
You
want
are
to
going deeper and
tighten
deeper
up.
and
Yes.
deeper and deeper. So now you must wear a certain ring.
Yes. Buy a ring so that we can protect you. I bought a ring. I was with her. She also said, I also want a ring. She was playing. She said, I also want a ring for protection. We bought the rings. Then they said, okay, let's do the ritual for protection. Buy another cloth. We're going to take your blood with the rings. Remember, she bought a ring. I bought a ring. She's taking my blood on the cloth. She takes the ring accompanying with the cloth to the
You are
river.
marrying her.
Thank you. I was literally marrying her. When she comes back with the rings, said, okay, here are
They
the
just
rings.
manipulated you into it.
Exactly. Here are the rings. You can wear it, but how about you propose me? Because you always wanted to marry me.
Hey.
I said, okay, I will propose you. No problem. 2 weeks later, I was in a restaurant and I said, okay, I proposed to her. When I proposed to her,
That's her.
I was kneeling down. I said, will you marry me? At Spare. They say, ooh, they clap hands. Then we married. From accepting the ring, they said, okay, the guy called, said, you can now wear your ring. I put my
So
ring
the
here.
guy knows everything. He's like a camera.
He's like a camera.
He sees everything.
He called
So
immediately
there's a
after
monitoring
proposing.
spirit there as well.
Exactly. I put my ring here. She put it. Said, no, put it on the other side. Yeah, I said, why this side? Because this side is for marriage. I'm a guy. I propose that not other way around. I said, no, when it's here, the protection will be strong because there's a vein that connects with your heart, and that's where you should put it. I said, but what people will say, they said, no, put it, it's for your protection. I had to put the ring. And that was me. That was me marrying her spiritually without my knowledge. What was I marrying?
You are at spare.
Yes. What?
Wedding venue.
So, what was I marrying? I was marrying this mermaid that I'm staying with.
So you forgot all your Christian values, all your fasting, all your everything at this point.
I forgot.
You went back.
I'm no longer even going to church. Yeah.
You took a million steps back when she came back.
Exactly. So I proposed to her. I was like trying to say, I married her without my knowledge. Why am I saying that? Remember when she took the ring? They were accompanied by blood. I made a blood covenant.
Yes, of
But
course.
it wasn't without your knowledge, because you gave her your blood. She didn't steal it.
I mean, they tricked me.
Manipulation.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
But I'm saying, yeah.
They tricked me. And interesting enough, can you see, this is evident that the ring, I had to put it here in my... What am I doing with the ring in the proposal moment? What am I doing with it? Where was the pastor? Am I married? My sister started to ask me, are you married? I said, no. Why are you putting ring? I started to be uncomfortable. People ask me. Then they said I must take it out and put. I said, no, I'm no longer interested in this ring. How did I find out that I was marrying her? Later when we broke up, 2021, I asked her, why guys? Why this? Why the rings? Because like I was now awake.
So you have to consult with the whole group.
Yes. So now she said, no, I was marrying you spiritually. Who are you? Okay, as I've explained, she was not a human. She's a marine spirit. I was married to a marine spirit, which I suffer dreaming having sex even today.
To her.
Yes.
So this body was just accompanying the spirit.
The spirit.
So this is not even her on the picture.
Exactly. Actually, this is not her. Inside is not her. I'm not dealing with the human. I'm dealing with the marine spirit.
Yeah.
In
So
Bible, they call
this
them
body is just
vultures.
actually being used.
So,
Nje.
Exactly.
so then the reason why you're saying, we're wrapping it up, the reason why you're saying you're sleeping with her every day is because these are spiritual things. So though physically she's not there, but because you're still married to her, she's still sleeping with you every night. Every now and then, I guess.
Exactly.
They're still getting stuff from you.
Access to me.
They're still sucking you.
So
from
you have
finances.
dreams, but it's actually happening live in the spirit.
Exactly. It's getting deeper now. 2021, it was a year of my breakthrough. I started to have a light, which, how did it happen? I had visions. Spirits was telling me, this person is not who you think he is. This person, his name is...
So you're starting to see now.
I started to see. I had to live there for 6 months, calculating all the doors. These people are satanic and this and that happened. What is really going on? I wanted her to introduce me to a family. There was no family to introduce me in. I wanted to marry you. We're running away. What is going on? There was a lot happening. There was this moment, 2021, whereby I was about to leave. She said, can I advise you, since you are a gambler, you're always making a lot of money. Do you know if you can take your son's blood and your blood and mine as well, put it in a calabash, we can be rich? I said, that is evil. That's sacrificing a child. I said, no, it's not evil, because other traditional healers, like I can mention one, they did it and doesn't require sacrifice. I said, who did it? He said, he did it. I said, no. Then I said, no, I can't do that. That's sacrificing my son's life. I refused. He said, no, me, I'm going to do it. I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow that. Then I refused. And then there was a moment whereby I didn't want anything to do with her. Everything was like starting to be clear. And then they have to come to me and tell me that, no, actually, there's something that we want to tell you. You have a spiritual gift. You have the Hosanna gift that you have to embark your journey. We can help you to address your gift and you will become whatever you have to become. And you can even come and work for us. We will make you a president. Who was making the offer? The bishop from the big church in Limpopo. Yes, I said.
Bishop with a church?
Bishop from Limpopo. He said, come and work with me. I'll make you a president. I said, no, I can't do that.
Wait, who's the bishop in Limpopo?
There are 2 of them. So I said no. And then before I forgot that, there was a moment whereby they said, during the ring issue, they said, since I have enemies, if I can baptize in that church, I'll be untouchable. I said, guys, what do you have to do with that church when you ask me to go and baptize in that church? They said, no, it's our church. I said, no, I'm not going to baptize in that church. I don't love that church. So many Christians, they were coming out from that church confessing that this is not a true church. So where do you want me to baptize? Later, when she confessed why they wanted me to baptize, she said, yeah, they wanted to capture my destiny for good, meaning I'm a prophet of God. I have a congregation that is in my hand. I have people who have to come in my hands, but literally they will take that away from me. That is why that church has different attires. These attires are for different people that they took their spirit gift. So eventually I was going to add to my congregation.
So where are you now? Because we've run out of time. I'm so sorry. Where are you now?
Since I broke up with her, I denied her with my son.
So you're staying with your son now?
Yes, and my son's destiny has been taken. Because when he was growing up, I could tell that he's a smart kid. But today he's failing. He can't read. He's 9 years. Doing 9 years, they say he can't read.
So it's almost a repetition of what
Yes,
happened to
exactly.
you.
He's failing his grade. When you speak to him, when it comes to education, he'll be like, but on the street, he's wise and smart. What will literally happen to my son? He's just going to tend to be a hobby. He'll be a kid who won't listen and smoke after in his teenage age.
Where is she? Where's the mom?
The mother, she's here actually. And she's
Where?
staying in her home
She's staying where?
in Vernaching.
So you know where she is. Is she in her body now? Is she out of her body?
She's still the very same.
I'm still trying to figure out if she's still that spirit.
She's still that spirit. Because right now, as we
But
speak,
she's stuck.
she called me. She said, I'll never succeed while she's still alive. She will definitely decisively deal with me because I'm denying her with the child. And indeed, my child needs help, needs to be delivered from these things. And
Okay, where are you spiritually? Are you going to church? Have you found deliverance? Are you born again? Have you found God?
Are you doing the work to get
what's
out?
happening with
Are you still captured
okay,
and
what I can
controlled
say
by
is
these
that
people?
I do go to church. I fast for my spiritual gift. I do have a light. I do have a connection with the spirit. But there is this thing that is throwing me back. I don't know if maybe fasting is no longer enough to break it, that spiritual marriage.
But did you do deliverance?
I don't want to lie to you. I haven't met a pastor who could literally pray for me and I see difference. But I've went consulting all everywhere.
You don't need a powerful pastor. You need Jesus. That's it. That's sufficient. So, you know, and I say this because there's no other power. There's no human power. The only human power that is capable of that is Jesus himself. He might not be physically here with you, but spiritually he is there with you. So what I'm asking is that firstly, you probably you have to have the right covering, spiritual, I guess, parents, you know, the right church that is helping you through the process of the deliverance. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And in terms of being born again, that's what I'm trying to figure out spiritually. Where are you? Have you, you know, given your life to Christ to the extent where you've given yourself to him?
I have given myself to Christ, and in the process of actually finding my destiny, my journey, finding my inner self, trying to connect with God, and this is exactly what I'm focusing in. Avoiding to get mixed up in other things.
Yes.
At least now I know that God doesn't get mixed up with other things, which is traditional healers and all that. So I'm in a church. I wouldn't lie and say in the right church because I don't even get that attention that I also always needed. I'll go there, I pray, but I always fast every day to recover myself, pray for my son. But I'm not saying God is not answering me. I believe he has answered me 2021 from getting out of that relationship.
Yes.
Other things literally slowly they will happen, they will pile up. As I'm now standing up, I'm able to speak. I couldn't speak like this. I was under spell. I was afraid and scared of them that they will come for me if I speak up. But now I'm not scared of anything. It shows that now the spirit is the way it works in me. And to help myself, another thing that gives me hope and courage is that since I started to pray, I can sense some symptoms whereby there are times whereby I will hear some symptoms of like, okay, looks like I'm gonna hear a spirit talking, whereby you hear your ears and then your chakra is having some symptoms. I could say that I'm in that stage of growing spiritually. Because lastly, I also have visions that are very, very powerful. that even has to do with the ending of world, which I just dreamed it recently, but due to time, I guess, I
So
won't-
you'll definitely come back for a part 2. I think for me,
This will be 2 parts for sure, because that's how long
my
trust me, it's a
I
lot.
really like, for me, like, I really pray that you find help, that you find peace, because you did say that you're a troubled soul. There's still so much work to be done, and I really pray that you can find a spiritual home and spiritual parents that deal with deliverance, because there are many good pastors and ministers who are called, right? But not everybody's called for deliverance. There are all those sacrifices, all those consultations, all those visits, all those covenants, all those, that blood, it's gonna need a lot of work. And I believe that you can be helped. As long as you are still breathing, it's not over until it's over. So
And
there's
as long
hope.
as Jesus is on the throne,
Yeah.
he's still on the throne. It's not too late.
Yes, I prayed at first, I was saved, but with this time around, I prayed, I did the fasting even more than that, but I was not saved. I guess covenant, there are specific people who can deal with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not too late. You know what? For me, I'm like, Jesus, is there anything too hard for our Lord? And there is absolutely nothing too hard. And I believe you came here for a reason, and I believe that you will be saved. You will be set free, and that is what I am praying for, and that is what I'm believing for.
Yeah.
And I know that with our God, it is possible. And from today on, we declare that there is no weapon that is fashioned against you that will prosper.
Amen.
We pray for like a divine covering upon your life, a divine grace upon your life, and great restoration for what God has bestowed in you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your story. Like you said, it took a lot of courage for you to sit there and share your story, because there's a lot at stake.
There's a lot at stake, trust me.
But I feel what's at stake for me most importantly is your soul,
And your son.
and your son. So and God will do justice with that. So thank you at home for watching. I know for a fact you are interacting.
Yeah.
This was a lot. Just sitting here was a lot. Like, I feel like I need prayers just even for listening, because I'm just like, what did I just hear? You know, there is so much that's happening out there. So let's be careful. Let's be vigilant. You know, that's it. Be careful. Be vigilant, and always just stay under the covering, you know. But thank you for watching.
Another reason to be born again, another reason to find Christ, another reason to know that, you know, there's no other solution now. These are the last days now, you know. Choose light. Okay, we need to go. From our incredible team, from our wonderful guests.
Our team's like, they're back there the whole time, like,
from everyone here, and and from you home, we thank you. From myself, Innocent,
and myself, Millicent, and our awesome guest who's so brave and courageous. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for helping others and creating so much awareness. It's been an absolute pleasure. It is.
Bye for now.
I've been through the most, been through the most. I've been through the most, through the most. I've been through the most, through the most.